You're listening to My Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Listen to more My Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at My Grito, the My Grito Podcast Network.
The Mind Buzz, now partnered with My Grito Industries.
This podcast episode of The Mind Buzz is brought to you by House of Chingazos. House of Chingazos is a Latino-owned online store that speaks to Latino culture and Latino experience. I love House of Chingazos because I like t-shirts that fit great and are comfortable to wear. I wear them on the podcast and to the carne asadas. Click the affiliate link in the show description and use promo code TheMindBuzz. That's TheMindBuzz to receive 10% off your entire purchase. The cash saved will go directly to the Mind Buzz podcast to help us do what we do best, and that's bringing you more Mind Buzz content. Click the link in the show description for more. The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more. May 4th, in the beautiful city of Santa Anita, California, is Michelada Rumble. The Mind Buzz and My Grito Industries will be out there under the media tent doing on-site interviews, and the Mind Buzz have been blessed with doing the judging of the Micheladas. May 4th, get your tickets down in the description.
The Mind Buzz.
Let's go. Boom. What is up, Mind Buzz universe? This is your host, Gil. Welcome to the Mind Buzz podcast, official podcast of the My Grito Podcast Network. And your co-host behind this screen that you guys can't see is Amber. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good this time.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've gone longer than 2 weeks without being sick.
Good.
So I feel great.
I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for myself.
So what do we got going on in the world of the Mind Buzz and our little corner of the universe?
The weekly open mic at Horchateria.
Okay, which is going pretty well, if you don't say myself. Well, I kind of messed that up. I don't know.
If I don't say so myself.
I'm not very good with words, which is why I have a podcast. Which is why I try to do stand-up on a weekly basis. Speaking of which, if you love stand-up and if you want, can we pull that on the screen, please? Just this week, Saturday, April 27th, Santa Anita Park is Laughs and Lowriders. I've been booked for this event. Come check it out. It's only $5. Come on, guys, dude. You can, if you're in the city, if you're around the city of Santa Anita, come out and support. If you're oh, look at that beautiful bald man. Get that on the screen. I love the colors that they use. Check it out on the screen here. Lots of great comics. That dude, Johnny C. from the West Coast Pop Lock podcast, also part of the My Grito Podcast Network. We will be making people laugh along with the car show. There's going to be food vendors, live horse racing, and merch vendors. Come out and support your low riders and your local comedians, ladies and gentlemen. Anything else?
That's about it. We're taking a little break
What do you mean?
in our life.
Oh, yeah. We need it. There's a lot going on.
We did. Last month was crazy. So
Yeah.
this month we're taking a little slow.
We're gonna take it a little bit slow. We didn't book that many events for April. But you have your markets this week, right? Or this month?
Yes. This Sunday we are having a pet pop-up at Horchateria as well.
Which went pretty awesome too. Can you put that on the screen? I just want to look at it because the video was really cool. There was lots of pets. There was a lot of people. Yeah, go for it.
Too much coffee.
I love this podcast, dude. Pull it up. There we go. Pet pop up. Look at that. Oh, yeah. There was a vendor doing photo shoots for your puppies and cats. It was a pet pop-up, but we mostly seen dogs, right?
Yeah, people were mostly taking... I seen one cat.
Yeah, take you there, Efren.
One little cat. There was a vendor doing tattoos on dogs. Yeah, there's a vendor giving out samples. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool event. So if you're around the city of Paramount, that will be going on at Horchateria this Sunday, right?
This Sunday, 12 to 5.
12 to 5. Come say hi. Come hang out. Bring your dogs. Bring your cats. Bring your
Shayla.
husbands.
Just kidding.
Take your borzois.
Bring your wives. Bring your girlfriends. Bring both of them if you want to treat them.
I know.
Without further ado, let's get into today's guest of the evening.
There's one missing.
That's okay. He went to get coffee.
That's fine. He's making his own coffee back there.
Then
Bring me a cup.
They're going to see our movie magic
Oh,
when
okay.
he
Huh?
moves back in.
No, that's fine.
All right.
That's cool.
Uncensored and unfiltered.
These guys are super amazing. We had them on the podcast before. Cipatli and Jesse Two Feathers. They brought a friend with them today that's also part of the band. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Quetzalcóatl Band.
Yeah. What up, everybody? Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us again. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, dude. The last time you guys were on the podcast, I had so much fucking fun, dude.
It was fun, dude.
Yeah.
We had, we talked a little bit of
It was like
ish here and there.
It was like 2 hours of just Mexican American culture,
History.
yeah,
Yeah.
conspiracies, pyramids,
UFOs,
aliens. We didn't really talk about your band as much, but I liked it.
Nah, we that's just our side gig. We just like to go talk about Mexican American and Chicano history. Yeah. That's our forte. We just sing and play on the side.
Give everybody a mind buzz.
Yeah. Put the microphone out and tu boca. There you go. So people can hear you guys when you talk. You hear me?
He's like, no.
He's like, there's a voice. Oh, he can't hear me. Well, he can hear me.
Sure, kid, sure.
Yeah. I hear you, kid. Don't be scared, kid. There you go. Yeah, he's scared of big black things like that.
Yeah.
So how you guys been?
Been good, man. We've been working hard. We've been, organizing our plan of execution. We have a lot of things that have been happening. We've been writing a lot of music, recording. We haven't been playing live that much. The year's just started for us, and we really wanted to focus on getting the album done. We usually set ourselves, we set a time frame. So we wanted to make sure the album was going to be out by May. So it has, so we've released a couple of singles in the last couple of months. So, we're ready and excited to start gigging and, playing the music live.
All your new stuff live?
All the new stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
That's
it
rad.
is. It's a little nerve wracking. We played, was it last month? The coffee place? Yeah. Yeah, at this coffee place in San Bernardino, the Birdcage, Birdcage Comics.
That's right.
Yeah, we did like a little acoustic thing.
Oh, cool.
So it was all right. It was a little nerve-wracking at first, but I mean, I was like, whatever, let's go do this. You know what I mean?
You played along with
Played with Edoes.
Edoes the Soul.
Yeah, and Sal and Isela. Yeah, us three.
And by the way, thanks for the connection there with Carlos, because dude, yeah, man, he's been helping us out with our live comedy showcase, and dude, they're awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, I've known them for a while. Carlitos is a good guy.
Yeah,
very hands-on, very technical. I mean, he's a great sound guy, great musician. So he's a good guy, man.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. Appreciate that.
The other two guys, they're all right too.
Guillermo and Albert.
You know, it's funny the way that the universe works, because when Carlos.
That's right.
After when we got off recording, I mentioned that I was from Paramount, and he's like, that's where we grew up, and I was like, what do you mean that's where you grew up? And he's like, yeah, we grew up in Paramount, and then we moved up to where they're at now. So then when we did the show with Gil, the live podcast one at the shop, they showed up, and then my family members always come out to support the shows and things like that. And he went up to the table where I was at with one of my aunts, and he's like, Graciela, and I'm like, what? How does he know my aunt? They ended up being cousins.
Right.
So
he
they're
told
like
me
first
about
cousins.
that.
Yeah. Oh, he told you? Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about, we have our weekly talk where we talk and say how much we love each other and whisper sweet nothings into our ears. No, yeah, but he was like, dude, it's crazy. Like, we're kind of related. And I was like, really? So, yeah, he told me about that. But, that's the way things work in this universe, And he was telling me it was a blast, and he loved, because he loved doing that because of the area. That's where he grew up.
Yeah.
And he said he still has a lot of people that he knows over there. So, I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, that was so weird after when Amber told me that. I think it was like after the show, I was freaking exhausted from setting up, breaking down. And then she told me that story, and I was like, what the hell? Like, you can't get any perfect than that, dude.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. But that's how the world works, right?
Yeah.
Mysterious ways.
We're all connected in some way.
We're all connected, bro.
Yeah, we are, man. We are. I'm connected to these two fuckers. So.
Efren, is it?
Yeah.
Efren.
Get on the mic.
Efren.
Don't be scarred.
There we go.
You
Efren.
can move it towards you.
Yeah. So Jesse Two Feathers plays the drums. Jesse, you're on bass guitar.
Efren.
Efren.
Yeah.
Efren. What did I say?
Jesse.
Oh.
They do look alike. They do look alike. It's his dad and his son.
Jesse on drums, Efren on bass guitar. Gotcha. And then
this pendejo on guitar.
This guy right here, I've known him forever. I knew him when he was a little tyke. Remember?
A tyke?
A little tyke. I used to give him little coins to la maquinita. Órale, güey.
What's a tyke?
No, like a little tyke, little kid, a little Wookie, a little morrito.
Okay.
No, but seriously, I've known him for a while. We were together in another band.
Oh, okay.
In another lifetime. Years ago when I had hair. And and the name of the band was The Burning Bed. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there, right? Yeah.
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 Kind of.
Yeah, it was more of an alternative rock band, kind of like a La Muse, U2 kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's what they would tell us, that we kind of sounded like Muse.
Yeah. We were a three-piece then. Yeah, and it was more like...
And he was in it too.
This was the band.
Gotcha.
Just three of us.
Just three of us.
So it was totally different than what you guys are playing now, right?
Yeah, it was more work for me because I would play the guitar and the keyboards and then sing. He would do backups to the bass and the drums. But I've gotten a little much older and I'm just wary, man. I can't do too many things at once now. I can, but they don't pay. These guys don't pay me enough.
The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more.
You gotta up it, dude. You gotta up it. You gotta
just go
get
out
them
there.
on playing it.
Go hustle. Go back to the streets. Hustle.
So how was the acoustic set compared? Because you guys use a lot of instruments in your guys' music. How did that work out and play out with acoustic?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of like playing acoustic in a band setting. Like I'm okay playing with my acoustic guitar in my house or writing a song or even jamming in the studio with them with an acoustic guitar. But live, I don't know, man. I don't find myself. You know, I feel kind of weird. But it was different. We only had 4 of us, right? Because Tristan was there.
Yeah.
So it was the drums, congas, bass, and guitar. So I mean, I found it kind of silly, to be honest, because I even told the organizer, I'm like, bro, like, why are we gonna be playing acoustic? Like, really, the only person that's gonna play different will be me, because like the drums, that's what we always play. The bass, he just took his bass.
It's plugged in.
And then the congas.
Anyways. It was plugged in?
It's
Yeah,
an electric
it's plugged in
bass.
anyways,
Yeah.
but it was like a violin shaped bass, like Paul McCartney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay
and then
okay.
he has, that's right. You didn't take the Variax, huh? Because he has a Variax, a Line 6 Variax, where you can have settings where you can make it sound like a stand-up bass or an acoustic bass.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but he didn't take it that day. And then I was like, dude, I'm going to be the only one that's playing something different. So when we went, I was just like, I took my electric guitar. So I only played one song on acoustic guitar.
Actually, the first time that we did it, the first time that we did the acoustic show at the...
Oh, yeah, that was in December. I did play.
Birdcage, I did use the Variax.
Yeah, but we had a gig in December in Riverside at the Packing House.
Oh, Packing House.
Packing House Brewery. And that was an acoustic set too. And it was only 3 of us that day. It was Efren, me, and Tristan on congas.
Yeah.
And I was on acoustic for the whole set. But I was kind of like
Not
buzzing
feeling
it, dude. No, I was buzzed, man. I was drinking.
Really?
And then Tristan was like, damn, you've been drinking before you even gonna go play? Because I usually don't. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. So I don't.
It's an acoustic set.
It's an acoustic set. Who gives a fuck? And then Tristan was like, yeah, but can't they really tell now when you mess up? Because it's acoustic. You don't have the electric. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So we went up there and I did it. I did our thing. I think it was one of our best performances, actually. We were on point.
There we go. It was the alcohol that
It
had...
was alcohol, dude. It hyped me up.
It did, dude.
And then, but then the other one at the Birdcage,
Comics.
that one, we did also take the keyboard. So it's not a real piano, so that's electric too.
Oh.
So I played that, and then I went to acoustic.
You can't haul a...
So what's a grand piano?
Yeah,
right?
so that's why I told...
I can just see you guys taking a huge grand piano out of the van.
I do have it, I envision it. If that were to happen, like the olden days, like the Egyptian kings, like they would carry the grand piano, the band, and I would be on top of the piano, eating grapes and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
There you go.
They would do all the work.
That's what's in store for us, huh?
It would feel like if you guys are in a band with a guy that just sings. Oh,
the one that just...
there's bands that have the lead vocalist, but he doesn't play anything, right? So when the show's done, he's just like, okay, bye guys. And everybody else is lugging their shit. They're like, hey man, can you give us a hand? He's like, no, I gotta go. I see you at rehearsal.
Bag, puts the microphone in
Yeah,
there,
he's
bye.
gone. Yeah, he's like, hey man, what? I came, I did my job. I'm gonna take my instrument with me. It's a fucking mic and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be like that. But we had good fun at both events. But yeah, at the end of the day, I told that guy Sal from the other band, he's the one that organized it. I was like, I'm gonna take my electric, dude. Well, actually, I didn't tell him. I just showed up with the electric.
But what was the purpose of doing acoustic?
Well, because him and his band, they do acoustic.
They're all acoustic.
They're all acoustic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Edoesh ended up showing, Guillermo played the full drum set. And then Albert played the bass too, electric bass, and only Carlos was on the acoustic. So I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that shit. So I took my electric guitar out and I just played it.
Was that like the vibe? Was that the vibe he was going for?
Well, when I talked to the organizer, he was like, yeah, dude, I think we should do an acoustic because it's kind of a small venue. But it really wasn't. It was small, but the way he was describing it, I felt like we were going to be like, it's really tight.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was a nice big room. And then I went,
seen it. It was a pretty good sized room.
Yeah. And then I went and I scoped out their Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like punk bands, and they're like full on bands, like like
distortion,
shit like that.
the whole thing.
Yeah, and I was like, "What are you talking about, dude?" So I just took the electric, and I was like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
And we weren't playing loud either. I turned my guitar to where the audience could hear the electric guitar,
Right.
but I really couldn't hear what I was playing. I was just going by memory.
Kind of like what Kurt Cobain did on Unplugged. He said, I'm not going to be full unplugged. He put a pickup.
Oh, yeah, and then he put the distortion on the acoustic guitar. Yeah.
Did he really?
For
Man
Who Sold the World.
Yeah, he had a distortion pedal, so he just hit the distortion pedal on that.
Mm.
And then for Come As You Are, he had the flanger, not the flanger, the chorus.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I thought The Man That Sold the World was
Nirvana song?
Nirvana song. Did I tell you that?
No.
Did we?
David Bowie.
We didn't touch on that.
No?
No, it's a David Bowie song, yeah.
It was during the pandemic. I was heavily getting into Bowie after his documentary came out on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I was listening to that album, The Man Who Sold the World, and I was like, why is this so familiar? So I listened to the unplugged version, and towards the end, I've never listened to the song from beginning all the way to the end. And you know what he says all the way at the end?
What is it?
That was a David Bowie.
That was a David Bowie song.
Yeah. You're talking about the Nirvana session.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was a David. So you never heard the whole song all the way through?
No.
Dude, you've never watched the MTV Nirvana Unplugged?
Not from beginning to the end.
Not the whole concert?
I just watched that video.
Man, that's like historic, and like that's one of the
really is.
Kurt Cobain and Nirvana are one of my biggest influences.
Yeah.
And him too.
Mine too.
Like I actually picked up the guitar because of that. Because of that, Nirvana was coming out, and then there was this chick. There's always a girl, dude. There's always a girl involved.
Of course.
And she was like, I was just learning how to play, but I wasn't really full on into it. And as soon as I found out she was into Nirvana, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna really learn how to play these songs. And then when we came back from summer break, I was already fucking long hair and playing guitar, and she was like, "What the fuck?"
Bleach hair, everything flannel.
Yeah, dude, I was
The whole
like that.
bit, dude.
Yep, I even had facial hair already, and I had a little bit of facial hair. Let it grow out, dude, little salt patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Efren, you were saying that the weather really affects your mood, right?
Yeah.
Those bands in Seattle, I feel like their grungy, their down sound came from the weather.
Right.
Well, Seattle is the suicide capital of the U.S.
Can you pull that up, Amber? I want to see like the percentage on that.
Sure.
Now we're getting into the Googling stuff, dude. I love
UFOs.
that's next, dude.
That's next.
The percentage of Seattle. Yeah, because of the weather.
Yeah, it's always
out
gloomy.
there.
It is the highest suicide rate.
Yeah.
But the music that just came out of there in the 90s was so different than the punk rock coming out of LA at the time.
Yeah. That and the big hair band stuff that was, predominantly in the airwaves of mainstream rock
that's
stations.
true. Rat, Poison, who else?
I don't know. He likes all that stuff. What other big hair bands are there?
The Guns N' Roses, LA Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get into that, man.
Rat, yeah.
Yeah.
The Seattle area suicide rate is 13.7 deaths per 100,000 people, the lowest in the state.
In that state, in the state of Washington.
Data show that the rural places have consistently higher rates of suicide than metropolitan areas. We see this in Washington and among the 50 states.
You know what's kind of, I don't know if it's weird or not, but Jimi Hendrix is from
Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, but his music's not grungy, but he still has that heaviness.
Yeah.
He has that heavy sound that's not metal, but it's kind of like, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's a coincidence or not.
Is that Wyoming? Casper?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Wyoming.
Casper, Wyoming is the city with the highest suicide rate in the United States, according to financial website Wallet Hub. The data is part of the Wallet Hub's research and ranking the happiest cities in America. Then what is the happiest city? Casper, Wyoming? Jeez. I wonder why. That's weird.
It's in Wyoming.
Yeah, right?
What's in
Yeah.
Wyoming?
Bunch of cow dung.
Cow dung and snow.
And country music. I mean, have you heard country music? They're always whining about something. He's like, my girl left me.
The happiest place in America besides Disneyland.
Yeah.
God. Do you guys like Disneyland?
No.
Do you like
I don't
Efren?
like this. We're gonna make a new business called Tacos Mickey, and now that the Mickey Mouse is like you can use the 1930s Mickey Mouse because it's out of copyright now. So we're gonna use that, him eating a taco, and put Tacos Mickey.
Has it been 200 years yet?
It has. It just expired like last month.
That's crazy how a property like that can be
Available.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it should have been
200
available.
Years?
Yeah, it should have been. Oh no, I don't know.
It
if
hasn't
it's-
been 200.
No.
It's been
No?
100.
It's been 100.
I don't think so.
200.
Don't listen to me.
Can you look it up?
Yeah.
No, I know it's been 100.
She knows. What are you a Disney
Mickey?
fan?
What do you say? I don't need Google. My wife knows it all.
Yeah.
So,
That's Amber.
Is Amber a Mickey Mouse fan?
No. At least I don't know. Are you a closeted Mickey
I
then?
enjoy going, but I'm not like crazy.
Yeah,
I-
you guys
my-
don't have monthly passes?
No.
No, not any, I used to,
Oh no.
but a long time ago.
It I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't know. Like when I see 50-year-olds with Mickey ears, that's just I don't
You don't
know.
like to
dude.
do
I don't know.
anything that brings people joy.
I don't.
Yeah, what's your
That's
sign?
weird because I've been practicing stand up.
What's your
That's
sign?
kinda-
No, what's your sign?
He's a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, I'm a Libra because my wife says the same thing. She's like, you don't like anything fun. Like last night she was watching The Masked Singer. I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit. She's like, well, why not? I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want.
Don't tell me you
watch
like
this shit.
yell at the TV.
No, I
or
don't. I
do
don't.
Commentary.
I'm just quiet. No, I used to do commentary because my wife's a big fan of like The Voice and all that shit, and I'd be like, this person's singing flat, like they're not good, and she'd be like, why can't you just listen and enjoy? I am listening,
Exactly.
and it sucks. So and then from then on, I was like, I'll sit and watch it with you, but I'm not gonna give my opinion anymore.
This is why I like to watch TV alone.
Yeah.
So you
I leave her. We can't watch TV
What's your
together.
sign, Amber?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay. And you guys are you guys are supposed to mesh according to the.
I don't know. Are we?
Some do. Some say yes, some say no. But my mom's a Virgo, and then he's a Virgo, and then I have like 5 Virgos
Your dad,
that are like
too?
No, my dad's not a Virgo. My dad's a Cancer.
Okay. My mom's a Cancer.
Can I get you? Where are my manners? Can I get you something to drink? Do you need water or something?
Tienen cara de hambre.
You good?
Tienen cara de hambre.
Water?
We have
Jesse?
dinner too.
You take water? All right.
Tienen cara de sed. They've been walking the yeah. Do you have hot water?
We don't.
Oh, okay. Then I'll be all right. Yeah. I'll be all right. Yeah.
I know a lot of people say like the signs, right? Like, oh, what's your sign? And then people are like, oh, that's so dumb.
Yeah.
But I really do think that we're ruled. I mean, I guess it has to depend on what you believe, but I feel like we're ruled by Earth. Like, why wouldn't we? Like, when there's a full moon, when things happen, like you were saying with the weather, like it changes your mood, your attitude, your everything. Like, why wouldn't we have something to be aligned with stars and like
The
other
cosmos.
stuff? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with
I
you.
believe it.
I'm 100% with you. I mean, they usually say like the emergency rooms that they find the busiest nights are like on nights that are full moon
Mm-hmm.
because people are just going crazy out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And like the moon affects the waves in the ocean and stuff.
Yes.
So why wouldn't they affect us?
Affect us, exactly. And we're what, like 90% made out of water,
That's correct.
right? So how would it not affect us?
Yeah, I believe it, man.
I do.
I believe it.
I think like me, like my sign, I get a really bad rap because I'm a Scorpio.
You do.
I do. But I also think that there are a lot of things that are true, right? But there's a lot of things that my either upbringing or environment have changed or channeled a different sense of what my sign is. And I think that happens to a lot of people as well. It's not 100% to the T.
Right. It also, affects the day you're born, the month you're born, the year you're born. All of that stuff affects,
Because people say like, oh, Scorpios, you're very vindictive. And I'm nowhere near vindictive.
Is she vindictive, Jaquil?
No.
No. Okay.
Like,
are you
at all.
vindictive?
I don't know.
is.
What is
He already-
the definition?
is.
Define
you saying-
vindictive.
by you saying that, I'm gonna say you are vindictive.
What do you mean?
Because you didn't say no.
There's
You're
a
like,
threshold,
I don't
right?
know. I don't know.
He doesn't seek vengeance. Like, he doesn't go and act on it. But he'll be like...
I'll talk about it.
He'll be like, oh, I hope that person falls. Or something.
I know he's like, I don't like that. I don't like that person.
Yeah, I
Why?
hope-
Yeah.
Because on October 7th of this
Yep.
so and so year, they dissed me.
Yeah. I hope they run out of gas on the freeway.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
That's his... And I'm
I
not...
hope they move
Yeah.
on to Seattle and commit suicide.
Yeah. Right. I hope they have a couple of drinks and drive home,
that type.
Take a left on the freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. But no, I wouldn't say I'm vindictive. It just depends, dude, because
Are you get hurt easy? Are you someone that's a softie inside? You don't show it, but if somebody does something, even if they don't know they're doing it, and you feel kind of like, I didn't like that, you get all in your feelings.
for a second, and then I reevaluate. Like not for a second. I guess I do feel it, but I think about it at least, right?
Right. Because I'm a lot like you, Gil.
Yeah.
And your wife is a lot like, well, your girls are a lot like my girl. Because I'll be like that too sometimes. My wife's like, calm down, relax. And I'm like, I start thinking logically. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just being a little whiny baby, But
I think men are deep down inside. Men, you guys are like that.
well, it's true. You know what I've heard, and actually science has proved it, that men are the weaker sex.
Really?
I agree.
In when I say the weaker sex,
I agree.
I know, 'cause she's a woman. She's like, yeah,
Not physically.
you guys are weak.
Not physically. Yeah, no.
Like,
But-
we wouldn't be
but
able
emotionally.
we wouldn't be able to bear children.
Well, no,
That's for
not
sure.
even that. Yeah, but that's not even what I'm talking about. Like, I watched this documentary like 15 years ago on PBS, and they had an experiment where they put like, what do they think? They were like 6-month-old babies. They put boys and girls, and they put the boys with the mom for 5 minutes straight, and then they would remove the mom for 10 minutes, and the little boys would start like crying uncontrollably. And when they did the test on the little girls, on the 6-month-old girls, they would be like, just look around, but they wouldn't even start crying. And that means something.
Yeah.
In the long run, because when you're born, you're not being taught anything really. By 6 months, you don't really know how society works, how society runs, or what is expected of you as a boy or a girl, whatever, or what your parents or your family expect, whatever. You're just a baby. But that connection is so intense for the boy. That's why in the older, that's why in our old tribes, here in the Americas, in Europe, and in Africa, and in Asia, they would take away the boy from the mother at a certain age, remove them from the mother, and have this child go through a rite of passage that didn't involve the closeness of the mother, because the child would not grow as a man with the protection of the mother. Because with little girls, even in those days where, how it was, little girls would just grow and mimic and see what the mom's doing, and just, this is the way it is, but the little boy, he stayed with the mom for a while, and they wouldn't know what the dad's doing, hunting, how the dad is, how the camaraderie or how they get along with other men and stuff like that. So they needed to be pulled from there. And sometimes that pull was like a tear, because the boy's so used to the mom cherishing him and being there at his every whim. But now you're out there and the dad's like, fucking do this now.
Yeah.
But it would be just a rite of passage that is now you're going from child to man. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And I also think like men, you guys act off of more of emotion. And a lot of times we say like, oh, men don't cry, or oh, men are, emotionless. But I think that men are more emotional than women. And it's that suppression of emotions that drive people to do, I guess, crazier stuff. I don't know.
Look at Efren's face right now.
No.
He's going through something
like,
right now.
He's like, what?
He's like, put the little violin.
He's thinking about it.
He's like, no me quieren.
Cue the sad piano song.
Yeah. He had that look. We were making him relive memories.
It's interesting, though. It's interesting in society and the way, like, biologically. Like, yeah, biologically, men are stronger than women. But I agree with you. I think mentally, we are stronger. And where it derives from, I don't know. But
well, I think it comes from survival, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we really think about it, mankind, we really haven't spent a lot of time out of the swamps. We really haven't. I mean, if you look at the amount of time, like, for example, the dinosaurs lived and ruled the earth, and you look at the time that we've ruled the earth, it's a little speck. It's small. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So we still have our reptilian brain with us. That's why people do commit crimes, commit rape, commit killings, like that, because we're still attached to that reptilian brain, and sometimes we do go on instinct. Humans just do what they do on instinct, like an animal, But that's something that women carry. That's part of their nurture and their strength to take care of their children. If back in the old days, if the man died, he died because he broke a leg, he got killed, a saber-toothed tiger ate him, and the mom was left with the kids, you had to step it up. You know what I mean? So to me, that makes sense.
Yeah. What would be the equivalent to now? Like there's nothing equivalent to that, right? Besides like education in school. I mean,
you mean a rite of passage?
Yeah. College is a rite of passage, people think. So. Education, no?
I don't think so. There's a lot of people that are highly educated and they have no common sense.
Well, I think it's like a societal rite of passage that this new society is saying, hey, they're going through X, Y, and Z, high school or middle school, high school, and then moving on to a certain education to program your mind for society, right? Like they're creating that type of rite of passage.
They're programming you, but it's really not a rite of passage because you're not. I mean, I guess you could say getting bullied and having problems at school or whatever, but those are minimalistic problems. I mean, nowadays you have a lot of schools that have these things where you can't bully and they have zero tolerance. I mean, I don't really, my youngest is in high school, but he doesn't have any problems like that. I mean, he doesn't tell me, at least he doesn't tell me, but he tells me when he sees kids fight on the campus and stuff like that. But I mean, nowadays, I don't think we really have that rite of passage. I think we become a society where we're actually producing weak men, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Because of education, or what do you...
I just don't think there is anything that is pushing us to be hard individuals.
Gotcha.
We're in a society where, I mean, I don't kill an animal to eat. Mm-hmm. We're not in a time of war where we're like World War II or World War I. I don't see famine. I mean, here in this country and in most of the first world countries, we're not really going through hard times. I mean, the economy is not doing well. Inflation's out of control, but I mean, we're not to that point yet.
Gotcha.
I don't think we're to that point where somebody can really say, my 6-year-old has to go to work. And, this isn't the 1920s where that was happening. Yeah. Those kids, if you've ever seen a picture of little kids working from the 20s, And they don't even look like little kids.
Pull those up, dude.
Their
They
eyes,
don't,
their
dude.
eyes look like...
They do not. They look like little people, dude. Can
Yeah.
you pull it up? I want to see the pictures of children from the working days. They would work like 14-hour days.
Yeah,
or
they
something
work
like
more
that.
than this fool right
7
here.
days a week.
This fool don't even work.
More than that, friend.
He
dude.
works 4 hours a day. Like, I mean, my back.
My back hurts.
My back. I can't pick up my bass to rehearse.
The Industrial Revolution. Man. Yeah, there's something in that. Oh, look at that one. That one's like the most famous one, too.
Yeah, look at their faces, man.
Can you zoom? Do you know how to zoom in on those? Amber?
Look at that. They're working harder than you, Efren. Look at that, dude. Look at them.
Yeah. Whoa. They're all Europeans. You know, dude, I've been saying that like nonstop.
Dude, have you? Have you?
Kinda.
Kind of.
When- when I remember.
25% of the time.
26% of the time before I refrain myself from saying white people, I say European. When I want to be funny, I say European.
Hey, what
Have
do
you
you
used
think-
that in your stand-up? You should
Not
use that in
yet.
your
I
stand-up.
should, huh? I should. Heck yeah.
What are you talking about, Europeans? I want white people. I'm just saying.
They're a bunch of Caspers, she said.
What do you think about all the like gentrification that's happening right now, like in Mexico or even? like,
that is right.
What's
Yeah, that's
happening like in
not cool,
Sinaloa?
man.
like my family is from Sinaloa, or my dad's from Sinaloa, and we're known for banda, right? Have you guys heard of that? What's happening right now in Mazatlan?
Well, there's a couple of gentrification things. I haven't heard exactly what's happening there,
Yes.
but are you talking about like there's two? Well, go ahead.
So the one happening right now in Mazatlan, because there's one in Mexico City, right, where
Yes.
they're having the biggest problem. But then recently in Mazatlan, what happened is that so there was an incident where one of the resorts that caters mostly to white people, Americans mostly, they were having this like, I don't know why they thought it was a good idea, but they were having this like classical music, uncut acoustic, like little,
like a string quartet.
no, it was just one man with like one instrument, but they were outside. So they were in the patio of the resort. And right over the resort, so the resort sits on the beach. So the beaches of Mazatlan are known for tourists coming. And obviously the beaches are a public place. And there's bandas. So that's where you go and you drink and you get in the water. And the bandas are going all night, from morning to night. So as this concert was happening, a banda started playing out in the beach. So of course the banda overshadowed the mini concert that was happening. So a lot of the people that were there started complaining. They complained to
And these
the
were
resort.
tourists.
They were all tourists.
Yeah.
So they started complaining to resorts. They started complaining to the government. They started rallying more people from other resorts. And it just created a trickle effect, right? And again, it was all curated by Americans. And they were saying that, they come to the resorts to relax and not to be bombarded with loud music and pretty much, saying that they didn't like the bandas playing.
Yeah.
So these resorts, of course, saying that, the Americans are the ones keeping their resorts open, said, okay, well, we need to listen to our guests. And they started putting bands, like bands.
Like
on-
us?
No,
Like
no,
us?
not bands, but bands on the bandas. So they were saying,
they
they
were
were
banning
banning
them.
them. They were trying to
Okay.
ban them from playing. So they were putting like a time frame that was like 4 to 5 hours of just playing music, and then the rest was. And people were saying like, this is our culture. This is who we are. This is who we are as a state. This is what we're known for. This is what tourists come
Right.
for. And you're gonna listen to a couple of Americans that are coming that don't know the culture and no saben disfrutar from the music. And people went like ballistic. The bandas went on strike, and they were going up and down the streets and trying to protest on, not getting band, pretty much. So it's their livelihood.
So I'm gonna drop the bomb on you. Okay. First off, I'm not a big fan of banda music. Never been.
Híjole.
Do I like some banda songs? Of course. I grew up with Antonio Aguilar and all that stuff. So I do like some songs, but I'm not the biggest fan of that genre. Number two, I mean, it is what it is, man. They shouldn't be complaining. They want the money, so cater to the tourists. I mean, let me give you this example. A long time ago, I had this friend, this European woman friend, and we were talking. This is how long ago it was. It was on Facebook. She said something. She sent me a message because I was putting some stuff. I was getting political, and she's like, "Man, what's up with you? Like, I try to like your stuff." And she was a fan of our other band, The Burning Bed, and I like your music, and I've been to your shows, but the stuff you're putting up sounds like it's kind of racist. And I was like, "Well, it's not racist. It's just the truth." I was just putting some historical facts, but then she said, "I went to Kmart." And I was really upset because they had announcements and it was like in Spanish. Like, don't they know this is the U.S.? This is the U.S. Why are they putting it in Spanish? And I was like, well, first off, the area where you live, the demographics have changed. Mm-hmm. It's not, the majority aren't Europeans and the majority aren't Africans. They're raza. They're people from Mexico and Latin American countries. So the store is going to cater to the demographic of that area.
Yeah.
They're not racist. They're going to use Spanish announcements over their PA because the majority of the people are Spanish speaking. If you don't like it, then move to an area where demographically is more people that look like you. Mm-hmm. It's just that. It's that simple. The same thing in Mexico. Like in that situation you're telling me. It's a tourist place. It doesn't matter that their culture is banda and that they're the one. If the people that are supporting that resort, the majority of people are foreigners that don't want to hear banda, then they're going to cater to them. If the banda people don't like it, then the banda people then should support those resorts, and the Mexican people should go to those resorts and spend their money then. Y asunto arreglado. That's the only way to fix it.
I don't know.
You know,
I don't think so.
Well, you know, that's the logical way. I'm Mexican, but I gotta go with logic.
But
that's
like,
the logic.
That's like me going to another country and saying, "Hey, I don't like the smell of your food, so you need to change it." Like it's ridiculous.
No,
because I think it's egotistical of us. I think it's egotistical of us going into another country that is not our country and ask them to change things.
Right.
The beach is public. It's not part of the resort. It's a public area. It belongs to everyone that lives there.
I understand.
The people and everything. So if the resorts can find a different solution, then that's on them.
Are you going on this logically, or are you upset because these are your people and you feel like your people are getting
because I think
the short end of the stick?
It's logically because I'm tired of people having to change things because white people can't appreciate a culture or can't come and be respectful to a culture. Who cares about money?
Okay, but
what are you doing? You're going to erase music? You're going to erase a culture for what? For white people because they're paying?
Yeah,
That's not fair.
I think the culture is not going to get erased. I mean, if I go to Watts, I'm going to find a lot of stores and a lot of things that cater to African American people. I grew up in South Central, and we in elementary school we did a whole thing on Africa and African countries and the cultures of Africa. And I'm not African American, but you know the predominant people at that time there were African Americans. So the school catered to them. We didn't study the Aztecs or the Mayas or the Incas or none of that. Why? Because we were the minority. That's the way it works usually. The majority is going to set the precedence of what's going to happen.
Exactly. And the white people in Mexico are the minority, not the majority.
Well, you know, like I said, here in this country, whether we agree or disagree on how this country became the United States, it's a country on its own right. They have borders. There's a lot of immigrants that come in from Mexico and other Latin American countries, and they're doing things the way they do things in their country. Sometimes it's fine, and sometimes it's not right. Because they're not abiding by the laws here.
I agree. But we're not talking about the U.S. We're talking about being in Mexico.
But it's the same thing, though. It's like the people that say, for example, they shouldn't, I know a lot of people that are like, well, this is our land. They shouldn't tell us to go back. Blah, blah. And to an extent, they're right. To an extent. But this is the fallacy right here. When the Guatemalans and the Salvadorians cross into Mexico, and a number of Mexicans, not all, but a number of Mexicans discriminate them, call immigration on them, and they get deported. It's the same thing.
Where is this at?
In Mexico, right? When the Guatemaltecos, when the Belizeans, when the Salvadoreños cross in. As a matter of fact, in Tijuana, they're protesting that they don't want any Central Americans or Haitians or Caribbean people in there. They want them out of Mexico. As a matter of fact, I have an aunt that lives in León, Guanajuato. She's saying that they don't like the immigrants that are there. They don't like them. A lot of Mexicans are against them. They don't want them there. It's the same problem here. It's the same problem in England. It's the same problem in Spain. Why? Because unfortunately, we have borders. Unfortunately, most of the civilized world has conformed to the way of the European mindset that we need borders. Okay? Mexico does it. Peru does it. Ecuador does it. Even the most native-looking countries like Ecuador and Peru, their rules are set by European standards.
Right.
Just like in Africa. So if you're in Africa and you go from Zaire to Niger and you're there illegally, you're not born there, they're going to deport you. It doesn't matter that you look like them. Now, I know your situation. You're saying, well, it doesn't matter because but they're catering to the tourists. The Mexicans are not the tourists that are spending the most money there. So they're going to cater to them. Now, they can change the law. It's in their right. If the governor of that area, if the gobernador or whatever, and they set laws in place, they can do it. It's their own country. You're right. But if they don't want to do it for money, then that's their decision too.
No, I'm not going against what is law. I'm saying, is it right or is it not ethically? Because even looking in Mexico City, what's happening? They're saying that because of gentrification, the salsas, something so little, so minute that we wouldn't even think, salsas are becoming less spicy because there's more Americans, more white people out in those areas that are complaining that the salsa is so spicy. And now all these taqueros are changing recipes and making salsa less spicy to cater to what? A minority group that's there. And that's what I'm saying. It's not whether I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, that the tourist people are who are paying that area. But what I'm saying is that I don't think it's correct. I don't think that it's okay for someone to go and not understand, not appreciate, not anything, and start demanding change the way that they are. Is where I'm.
But that's how change happens, isn't it? For example, right here in this country, my parents are like, "Quiero una torta." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They'll get a hamburger and they'll tell the people at Carl's Jr., "Okay, you guys put jalapenos on it?" Because they're Mexican, and they're going to ask for that, and they're going to do it because they're paying for it, right? So if the gringo or the African American or the Asian that are in Mexico are like, "I don't want the salsa too spicy," and the majority of the people that are buying tacos from that taco stand because it's been gentrified are people that are not native-born Mexicans, then they're gonna cater to that demographic. It's just economics.
It's economics, but what I'm saying is it's not okay.
But why? That's your opinion.
Yeah, and everybody that's there that are having issues.
Right.
This is circulating throughout everything. Mexico City right now, even its own president is trying to put their foot down with gentrification, with everything that's writing people out of their own cities. Our people can't afford anymore to live in their own cities in places that they grew up, that generations and generations grew up. What's happening? They're getting displaced out of their home.
And that's going to continue to happen. Nothing's going to change. It's happening here. It happened in downtown LA.
Yeah.
And it's going to, excuse me, the only way things are going to change is if people actually all unite and boycott something. That's the only way it's going to happen. Will it happen? Sure, it's happened before in history, but it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often. For example, here, I mean, there's people that are earning minimum wage or whatever now at McDonald's, $20 an hour, but they only get 25 hours or 30 hours a week. That's not going to change. Now we've seen that the prices of the burgers went up. I mean,
Don't even get me started on that, dude.
It's economics. It's
Don't
economics.
even
Like the people
get
are
me
like
started on
the people
that.
are like, yes, I got a raise, but let's think about it logically.
everything's
You
gonna
you
go
got
up.
a raise,
Yeah.
but and you know, it's another controversial thing I'm gonna say. You're 45 and you're working at McDonald's.
True.
I'm not putting them down at all. I'm just stating facts. You're 45 and you're working at McDonald's. You got pregnant, and I'm just making up a person. Okay, I'm making up a person. I'm just making it up.
Okay.
You got with your dude, high school sweethearts. You got her pregnant when she was 17. One of you, let's say, graduated high school. The other one dropped out. You've been working in factories. You've been in and out. You haven't done anything else. You've been living with your parents or whatever. And now you're struggled all your life. You're still struggling. Now you're working at McDonald's. Your wife's working at another place, maybe a factory. They're paying her a little bit more than you, but you're still struggling because you're paying rent and you have 3 kids and you have 3 bedrooms, 2 restrooms, and you're paying almost $3,000 and you can't afford it. I mean, you've made mistakes. You made decisions. All these things are decision based. Nobody told you to get your sweetheart pregnant at 16. Nobody told you to do that.
Right.
You did it on your own. Right? Now, that's another thing. I think we've become a society where we don't want to have people take responsibility for their actions. We don't. People don't want to take responsibility, and they want the easy way out. And unfortunately, we see that in our society. We see people that can't afford rent, they're living out of their car. Some of these people are not drug addicts. Some of these people made the best decisions that they thought they were making. Some of them have a big backlog of student loans that they still have to pay. And the apartments or wherever they're trying to get to live is too expensive. They're working at Amazon and they're working at McDonald's and they're trying to make ends meet, and it's too hard. It's hard. Some of these people thought they were making the best choice. Some of these people don't have kids, but the fact of the matter is everything is going up and the wages are not matching inflation. And there's people that, to compound, have made wrong decisions or bad choices. And now they're complaining that, hey, I'm 45 and I'm only making $18 an hour at McDonald's, and they only give me 30 hours a week, and I have to buy clothes for the kids and put gas in the car and do all this, and they're in dire straits.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I do? What can we do? So now we're supposed to change everything to make it easy for you? I mean, it just can't work that way. We need to look at things realistically and logically and find solutions that make sense. And all of these solutions are not going to be a happy ending for everybody.
Right.
It's just not. It's impossible. Even now, right? If for example, if I'm in the car with my wife and we're doing a long distance travel and we're going to Vegas, she might want to listen to Michael Jackson for 2 CDs. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm going to be like, okay, I'll listen to it. But then after that, I'm going to put Nirvana on, and we're going to, right? You can't be 100% happy all the time. And the decisions that are going to be handed down are not going to make you happy 100% of the time. That's unrealistic.
Yeah, you're not going to make anybody happy all the time. Like everybody happy. When there's a decision in Congress or a decision with wages, somebody's going to have to suffer for any of those decisions.
Right. And that's not even counting, like I said, the bad decisions that are being made.
Right.
You know, if you have 6 kids and you're a single mom and you have 6 different baby daddies, who told you to open your legs to 6 different dudes?
Right.
That was your choice. You didn't get raped. And now you're mad because CalFresh, the food stamps aren't enough. You're mad because, you know, the Medi-Cal isn't covering for dentists for all your kids. You're upset. I mean, that's your bad.
Yeah. I guess it just boils down to choices, right? Where you're talking about choices and just the like, where do choices derive from? Like, when, because you see most of those problems here in the United States versus Japan versus China versus other countries.
That's what you think.
That have a better.
But that's what you think. We don't live in China. We don't live in Japan. We don't see the news there every day.
True.
So we don't know. We can only assume. Right? And the same thing here, right? Like, we're going to have the Olympics in LA soon, right?
Sure.
Right. So there, I saw on the news that the mayor, she's saying, well, we're going to move the homeless people for the longevity of the Olympics here, and we're going to seal them off. Mm-hmm. And then when the Olympics are over, we're going to let them back in. I mean, what kind of solution is that?
Right.
That's a temporary solution. But the Angelinos are still going to be pissed that there's tent homes everywhere. It's a big problem. It has to do with education. It has to do with decision making, and it has to do with common sense.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, like, what's the difference between the United States, right, versus Japan that has a lower homelessness here, higher wages or whatever. Let's just focus on one thing: homelessness.
Okay.
Right. When I was in Japan, there was no homeless people. Like, what's the difference?
What city? Number one, what city did you go
Tokyo.
to?
I was in Tokyo.
Did you go? Every city has ghettos in the world.
Right. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Did you go to the ghetto in Japan?
I don't know. Did we, Amber?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Usually,
none of it looked ghetto.
Usually, tourists are not going to go to the bad areas of the city. I mean, I took my wife to Mexico City, and we were in the nice areas.
Well, we went to the Tenderloin in San Francisco, and we were vacationing.
But Japan,
right?
I'm sure they're not going to tell you, "Oh yeah, go over there," where the people that aren't doing so well are. You know, I mean, in a society, you have the people that are well off and the people that are not. Mm-hmm. That's every society. You didn't go there.
Right.
You probably don't even know where it's at because you're not interested to go there. You're interested in going to the Godzilla Museum.
Korea, South Korea, and Japan, a lot less homeless.
Well, maybe so. But I don't have the numbers. We would have to look up the numbers to see where the disparities are, right? But I'm sure they have their own problems, their own issues. Right?
Yeah.
That might be a little bit different than ours, but they still have their own issues. I mean, for example, in Japan, they're saying they're going to extinct. The Japanese are going to go extinct in about 80 to 100 years because they're not reproducing.
Right.
There's more old people, senior citizens, than there are children being born. As a matter of fact, they're closing down in a lot of hospitals the nurseries. Because women aren't getting pregnant. And the young men don't want to get women pregnant and don't want to get married. As a matter of fact, I watched a documentary about 3 months ago on that. Japan's population is plummeting. The same thing with Russia. That's another problem they're having. Even Putin came out and said that they're going to give them money to reproduce because they're not doing it.
Why would they want to reproduce anyways?
Because if you don't reproduce, who's going to work?
Right. That's true.
I mean, the reason that they want them to that they're not reproducing is because it's expensive. Japan's expensive with the wages they're earning there. I mean, how much is 1 yen to $1?
What was it like? Do you remember, Amber?
It was like half.
Like and how long ago was this?
We went a little over a year ago.
Okay, because they deal with big numbers, right? Like 2,000 yen.
Yeah.
Right. That's like Mexico. It's like inflation is bad. So the wages that they're earning is not, a lot of the men were saying it's not feasible to support, to get our own home, to get our own car, to have our children, to pay for school, to pay for their school clothes. It's not. So why even get married? There's no incentive for what's going to happen is our wife's going to get upset because I'm not making enough money. We're going to get divorced. I'm going to end up in a broken, our family's going to be broken and our kids are going to suffer. So why even do that? A lot of them have digital girlfriends.
Yeah.
And that's what they're happy with because they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or they go to those cafes where it's like you can just talk to a woman, hug her.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
It's not even
You can
like
go to
sex.
a cat cafe too.
Cat cafe.
Yeah, and pet the kitties.
No, I see
I like
that too.
those.
There was a lot of emotional things that were there to help people.
I mean, to be honest, I would love the world to have no borders. I would love everybody in the world to get along, see each other for who they are and what they are. But unfortunately, we don't live in that world. Unfortunately, we live in a world full of made up differences.
What do you mean made up differences?
You know, cultures. Culture is one of the most beautiful thing on this planet, but it's also one of the worst things that we have, because the biggest thing that divides us is culture.
Right.
Culturally, that's what
That's
divides
true.
us. Like you have, a Mexican person from Mexico City has different tastes in music, food, customs, drinks than somebody from Chihuahua, and they're in the same country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see it here, right? I don't know if you've heard how many times you've heard that this country's divided. In this country, it's one big country. But if you go to the south, they think differently than we do. If you go to the east coast, they think differently. If you go north, so culture is a two-edged sword.
How do we get rid of it?
We can't.
Why not?
It's what's made us survive. It's what's made humanity survive. You can't get rid of it. The only way that we can make it better is to go with an open mind and accept people for who they are and learn from them, and them also be open to learning from you, learning your foods.
Wouldn't it be better if there was like a universal culture?
Yeah, but we're very far away from that.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the next millennia, there's no culture, there's no borders, there's no monetary system, there's no...
There is no borders for first world countries. Like Canadians can cross over and they don't have a problem. But if you're brown or black...
To go to Canada?
No, to go to Canada or the U.S. I mean, Canada did say that they were going to open their borders to Mexican citizens, but man, to get a visa for Mexico, if you are somebody who's not economically set up, you're not going to get a visa, man.
Are they banning like visas for people going into Mexico, Amber, or something like that?
Not banning them. That he said that he was gonna the way that the
It was
US,
a president?
Yeah.
Oh.
The way that the U.S. works with visas, so like Mexicans need a visa to come to the U.S. That they were looking into creating the same system for Americans going into Mexico.
Mm.
Yeah, that just sounds like the Mexican government salty right there.
Yeah.
The reason why they do that, right? The reason that first world countries demand that certain countries provide a visa when they go there. You know what the reason is?
Why?
Economics. Yeah. If you can prove that you make a good living in Mexico, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Nigeria, whatever, and that you have a car and that you have a good job and that you have good finances, you show your bank account, your savings, and your checking, they'll let you in. Why? Because England, the United States, Germany, they know you're not going to stay illegally in the country. You're going to go back to your country.
Yeah.
Because you're just here visiting. But really, like, if I'm going to Nigeria or I'm going to Mexico and they're going to ask me for a visa, bro, I don't want to stay here. I really don't. There's nothing. I like going there and I'm proud of my culture.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've gotten in problems with. Well, not problems, but differences with other people that when we talk about this, I'm proud of my culture. I'm proud of my Mexica descendants, my native culture. But I'm not proud of being Mexican per se. Why would I be proud of being Mexican? What has Mexico done, especially to their own people? They've mistreated their native population. They have killed dozens of protesters. They've allowed narcotráfico to go rampant. The government has sold out. The local governments have sold out. what's proud? What is there to be proud of? What is there to be proud of? The music? Yeah, I love the music. The people, like the regular Mexicans, you go, they're very amicable. They show you around. They're good people. But there's a lot of corruption. And there's a lot of racism in that country within their own people. So what is there to be proud of? I don't understand what. When you're waving the Mexican flag, what are you proud of?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't even know what the 3 colors on the flag stand for or what the eagle and the cactus stand for either.
What do they stand for?
Well, the red stands for the blood. The white stands for the Catholicism. I forgot what the green stands for. I think the independence. I don't know. I don't know if you could look it up, Amber. I don't know. But the eagle and the cactus, that's Tenochtitlan. That's the eagle that the Aztecs in their mythology knew was going to land on the cactus, and wherever they saw that image, they were going to build their empire, which ended up to being on Lago Texcoco in El Valle de Mexico, the Valley of Mexico, which was Tenochtitlan. But that's how I think. Now, I also think, for example, here in this country, when they say "Make America Great Again," I don't think America's ever been great either. We've had a lot of issues for a long time. So I think as citizens of the world and citizens of this planet, right, we need to look at things how they really are. And sometimes I think there are people that get blinded by their pride, by their following the blind, like, oh, I'm proud to be this and I'm proud to be an American. Yeah, but let's look at American history. Okay. What is there to be proud of? What have we done? We dropped 2 bombs on Japan, World War II, killed millions of people. We took over Hawaii by force. We took Mexico by force. I mean, we've set up banana republics in Central America. I mean, what is there to be proud of? What good have we done? We haven't. So for anyways, I'm saying this because I know there's people like, well, he's Mexican and he's not proud of being. No. I'm proud of my culture, but let's be reasonable. Let's point out the facts about this country and that country.
Oh, look at in the modern age, the green represents hope and victory. The white represents unity, and the red they changed that from the. You said white was what?
Catholicism. Their belief in Catholicism.
The red pays tribute to the national heroes who fought for Mexico over the years.
There you go.
When I was a kid, they white represented the common people.
I don't know exactly, but I mean, I think it's our duty to really think about
a lot of white. I'm sorry.
It's our duty to really think about what we stand for and keep it real. Even though a lot of people don't like when people keep it real. They say keep it real, but when you keep it real,
keep it 100.
They get upset.
You know, back in the day, they wore the the simple white cotton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's I think where that came from. I can't.
Just like that word gringo, right? Where the word gringo comes from. When they were saying that when the Americans invaded Mexico, the Mexicans would tell them, because they were wearing a green uniform, gringo. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Have you ever heard of that, Amber?
No, I hadn't.
Yeah, that's where the word gringo comes from, supposedly.
Like go away.
Yeah, like go away. Like their uniform was green. So gringo.
So who was wearing the green uniform?
The U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, because of their army colors.
Right. And they're saying gringo, like get away. The way Gil laughed.
I'm gonna use that in my stand-up.
That. I don't know if that's
a good
true or
one
not,
too.
but I've heard that.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that version of history a lot better than what the original is from that. But I get it. I don't know, dude. It's just so weird.
Google's not always truth.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Google's not always true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Yeah.
But I believe Google more than I believe you.
Hey, in your stand up, you can ask if anybody's from Ratmouth, Florida.
There's a Ratmouth, Florida. Yeah.
Boca Raton, right?
Boca
Boca
Raton.
Raton.
That's right.
There you go. You got
It just
another
sounds
joke.
worse.
Yeah.
No.
Ratmouth, Florida.
So you guys have a new CD, right, or album out?
Yes, we do. The name of the album is Tlazocamati. Can we all say it together? Look, Gil's eyes are turned to fearful right now.
Skill.
Clasokamati.
That's good enough, man. Yeah.
That sucked.
Say it. What was it?
Tlazocamati.
Clasocalamati.
Tlazoclamato.
Clasoclamato.
No, Tlazocamati.
Clasoclamati.
Tlazocamati.
Clamati.
There you go.
Clasocamati. Oh, there's no L right there. So clasocamati.
Show
Also-
it, Gil. Show the album.
Clasocalamati.
silent.
This way.
Nice.
CD out.
Yeah, yes. Tlazocamati means thank you in Nahuatl.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, it's pretty much this album. Really thankful for all the fans, the people who have been following us on Spotify and on our website, and we're glad that we've lasted this long. You know, we don't have we're not anticipating not stopping anytime soon. You know, they say the average length of a band is about 3 to 5 years. So we started in 2016. So pretty soon here, it'll be our 10-year anniversary. So yes, we have had different incarnations of the band with different members, but the band, the core of the band has always remained the same. We're moving forward, and we're just thankful, man. We want to thank us, fans, the music gods, the Aztec gods, the kids, everybody, all the podcasts we've been on, all the friends, all the family members, all the people who came out of nowhere and just showed love for the music, who became fans because they love the music, and we appreciate that. We know that having a band and maintaining a band is not easy. So we're just thankful.
Yeah, 10 years is a long time to do anything, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, I just celebrated 7 years of marriage and 10 years of being with my wife. So that's been a long time.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congrats, dude. 7 years?
Man. Yeah, I was telling you, I'm getting itchy. 7-year itch is coming up, man.
The what?
7-year itch. You never heard of that?
No.
And what
You know what that
What is that?
What are you itching for?
I know.
Changing her out or what?
You guys have never heard of the 7-year
No.
itch?
The
They say
movie?
that they say that if you're
7-year
married
itch.
for 7 years, you get the 7-year itch. That's when like one of the people cheats
Oh,
because
Oh.
they're tired. It's been
you
Whoa.
heard it here first. Just
yeah.
kidding.
You never heard of that?
No.
No.
Yep.
What the hell? That's a thing?
Don't even
That's
be
the thing.
getting any
Ideas.
ideas.
Look it up. We're not married yet. Look it
I'm
up.
not gonna look shit up.
7-year itch.
She said, "I ain't looking shit up."
Let's keep going. So how did this? We're not putting that bad juju in.
7-year itch.
He's gonna look it up when he's in the restroom on the toilet. He's gonna look it up if you don't. Look it up.
Yeah, it's
Siri,
the-
what's 7-year itch?
He's gonna be getting the poop itch.
Poop itch.
The what?
The 7-year poop itch.
Oh.
Let's see. 19, happiness in marriage or long-term romantic relationship. Oh yeah, so it does have to do with.
A married person who has a 7-year itch is feeling unhappy with their marriage after 7 years and is considering having a sexual relationship with another person. 7-year itch.
I had no idea that's what it meant. I've heard that term, but I didn't.
Half of all marriages end in divorce, and within that context, most marriages last between 5 to 7 years. Yep, and 75% of all marriages, the divorce is initiated by the woman.
Ooh.
All right.
Yep.
That's why they're smarter than men.
They're like, get me the hell out of here.
They know when they have a threshold, and they know when to throw in the towel.
Throw in the towel.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
but
man.
you guys are not going to divorce, right? You guys are going to keep going. When are you going to celebrate your 10-year anniversary?
It's going to be 2026 for the band.
2026.
So we're a couple of years away.
You guys planning anything for that?
Well, we plan on releasing. The goal for us is to release an album a year. And on top of that, maybe 3 to 4 singles that are not included on the album. Like
That'd
I said,
be cool.
we're already working on a single. And hopefully we'll release it this summer. We just got to get it down pat how we want it. So, yeah, man, it would be great. I mean, we have the studio. We just need to find the time to get together, rehearse all the songs, get them done. But this album also, we're really proud. The majority of the songs, if not all, just have a positive message of not giving up, overcoming obstacles. Like one of the songs here is called Somos Más, We Are More. And it's all about just, surviving, not letting the challenges in life bring you down. Get up, dust yourself off, move forward. So you lost the job, so you got divorced, so your car got a flat, whatever. Like, I'm a true believer that when one door closes, another one opens. I've just always had that mindset that there's no reason for you to give up. We if you're here, you're a survivor already. There's more people that will never be born than the people that are going to be born till the end of humanity. If you really think about it. So just being here is a gift. Don't let this gift pass you by. Do what you want to do. Don't say, but. Don't be one of those 75-year-olds being like, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Do it. You might not always succeed. You might not always achieve what you set out to achieve. But if you did it, then you can be happy with yourself. And when it's time to move on to the next plane of this trip, you will die happy because you did what you wanted. That you lived fearlessly.
Hell yeah, dude. Sabali, thanks for coming out and doing the podcast.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it. Efren, it was nice meeting you. Thank you. Jesse, thank you. Go ahead and tell us where we can find you and what you got coming up.
All right. www.quetzalcóatlbandmusic.com is our website. You can find all our social media links from our website. Also, we have a gig April 19th in Maywood at the Bricks Bar, and we also have our album release party on May 4th at the Garcia Center in San Bernardino.
Hell yeah. That's April 19th, you said?
That's right. That's going to be a Friday night.
That's that
that's
that one we posted, right?
Yeah, we're going to be playing with Gabriela Penca, the Munchies, Negra Azul, so a bunch of ska and cumbia and punk.
Ooh, okay.
So it's going to be dope.
Awesome.
Yep.
And that's at the Bricks Bar in Maywood, April 19th.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, dude. You got anything else?
That's it, man. Just I want to make sure everybody has a blessed rest of the day and rest of your life.
Heck yeah. Amber, do we got anything?
No, I think what we said earlier.
No, just April 27th at Santa Anita. Come check it out. Laughs and Lowriders. It's kind of funny because we were talking about Lowrider and the Lowrider culture the last time. April 27th, only $5. Come out.
Yeah.
Let's get drunk in the parking lot and come in and check it out in inside. Let's see what else. May 4th, Santa Anita, Michelada Rumble. Michelada
There you go.
Michelada Rumble. Come out and support.
It's like, did I say it right? Say Tlazocamati 5 times fast.
Tlazocamati. El Cucuy. Heck yeah. Come out.
By the patas.
Santa Anita. Come out. It's going to be fun. May 4th.
The Mind Buzz.
Oh, man, we got political today, bro.
Thanks for listening to the Mind Buzz podcast. Subscribe to the Mind Buzz YouTube channel and watch full podcast episodes. Keep up with the hosts, guests, and upcoming events by following the Mind Buzz on Instagram @the Mind Buzz. See you on the next one.